Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Wednesday morning at the residence of Hazrat Wala Baitul Askar in Wasiabad, Allahabad, UP, India. Wednesday, the 14th of Jumadul Ula, 1446, corresponding with the English date, 29th of November 2023. Hazrat Wala has in front of him the kitab Dastur Salikin Liqurbi Rabbil Alameen, and Hazrat Wala is reading from the section Khulasa-e-Tariq, the essence of the Sufi path. Hazrat Wala reads and says that Farmaya, now Hazrat Wala is saying that in here I have collected much of the works and the teachings of Hazrat Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanvi. फरमाया हक ताला तक पहुंचने का यही रास्ता है कि अखलाक रजीला जाते रहे, हमीदा पैदा हो जाए. Now look at this here. We're speaking about the essence of the Sufi path. Here nothing is mentioned about saying Ismezat 24,000 times. But look how beautifully presented, and the essence is this. What is Hazrat Thanvi saying? He's saying that akhlaq razila jate rahe, hamida paida ho jaye. That this is the real way of the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is it? Blameworthy qualities must be removed and praiseworthy qualities must be developed. Blameworthy qualities must be removed and praiseworthy qualities must be developed. Now Hazrat Wala is saying, kibar jaye aur uske jagah mein tawazu aa jaye. So that this pride and arrogance starts leaving from you slowly, and in that place what would come about? It is that of tawazu. Now, Hazrat Wala says so beautifully that for a moment, if we just think and understand we just understand ourselves to be better than the next person. If any person just understands himself to be better than the next person, to tariq se nikal gaye, then he has slipped off that path, this path that he's threading to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then a very excellent example Hazrat Wala gives in that. He says that a person has to look, it will help him a lot in this path to Allah, at the person who is in front of him. If that person is older than him, then he must make himself understand that this person, he is older than me, he had an opportunity to carry out much more deeds because he had a lengthier span than mine. And if somebody younger than you comes in front of you, what should you think? That listen, he's so much more younger, therefore his sins are much less than mine. So when a person thinks in this manner, he keeps his mind and heart orientated, and he will never ever think himself to be better than the next person. Hazrat Wala quotes the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man tala umruhu wa hasuna amaluhu. Ayyun nasi khairun, man tala umruhu wa hasuna amaluhu." The Sahaba asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are the best of people? To which Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, the one who has a lengthy life and he has excellent deeds, good deeds. Hazrat Wala is saying, when I went to Darul Uloom, referring to Darul Uloom Deoband, and at that time there, I sat and I started speaking to the students, and I told them that this is a great institution, and whoever is studying here is great, whether they be teachers or they are students. Nevertheless, people were speaking before the Majlis, and Hazrat started off his Majlis there by saying that my lengthy life has been established. In what sense? That there was no one more senior in age than him there. So he said, you people have established this and said that I am the oldest. Nevertheless, I am telling you people something, that listen, I have come here now for husna amal. That okay, Allah Ta'ala has given me tul umr, but I'm still so much desirous for husn amal and to enjoy good deeds, and that's why I have come here. Hazrat Wala is saying the people there were deeply affected by these words. Now listen, you people said I'm the oldest or most senior. Most senior will only come if my deeds are good. So like Allah Ta'ala has given me a long life, may Allah Ta'ala give me good deeds as well. But the same hadith also speaks about the total opposite of it. Which are the worst of people? Ayyun nasi sharrun, that man tala umruh wa sa'a amaluh, the person who has a lengthy life but he has wicked and evil deeds. Now Hazrat Wala then speaks about the incident of a Sahabi. The train of thought left there. Hazrat Wala did not complete that particular incident. The Sahabi or the narration that he was actually referring to was that when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke, and he drew a clear distinction between two Sahabis, due to which the essence of the hadith was that the Sahaba were amazed that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was giving superiority to someone over that of a shaheed. To the surprise of the Sahaba, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam then said that did he not outlive the shaheed for so much more longer? In which time period he must have carried out so much more salat and siyam, etc. Allahu Akbar. On that note, Hazrat Wala then goes on to say, Allah Ta'ala Umar ki qadar karne ki tawfiq de. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of appreciating this life that we have. Qadar kya hai? What is this qadar that I am referring to? That you start using or spending rather your life and exhausting it in good deeds. Husn amal mein laga de. Exhaust your entire life in carrying out good deeds. Akhir tak, right up till the end. And if this is achieved, then everything is achieved. Nevertheless, Hazrat Wala is saying, मैंने तो खोला तो यही निकला, and I may have read this to you many times. However, إذا تكرر تقرر. When something is repeated over and over again, it is then that it becomes established and settles down in the heart. So listen to this again. Hazrat Tanvi says that Haq Ta'ala tak pahunchne ka yahi rasta hai. This is the path by means of which we will reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ke akhlaq razila jate rahe, hamida पैदा हो जाए, maasi छूट जाए, ताआत की तौफीक हो जाए, गफलत मिन अल्लाह जाती रहे और तवज्जु इला अल्लाह पैदा हो जाए. So this is the real way of the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that blameworthy qualities and characteristics must be removed. Praiseworthy qualities must be developed. Sins must be given up. Inspiration to do good must be acquired. Heedlessness towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must be eradicated, and focus on Him must be developed. You know, a person was leaving the company, Hazrat Wala is quoting, the presence of a buzrug. And then he said, Hazrat, give some nasihat. At that time, the buzrug then alerted him to this particular point. What did he alert him to? He said that you are asking for nasihat, but there is very, very little importance attached to making amal on the nasihat that I already gave you. Meaning that nasihat that I have given you, take it and go and make amal on it. Allahu Akbar. Quoting the waqia then, thereafter, of Hazrat Sayyid Sulaiman Nadwi, Allama Sayyid Sulaiman Nadwi, that he went to Hazrat Tanvi, and then before leaving, rather on arrival, maybe when he went back home, people then asked him that what did you really achieve? I mean, you and Allama yourself, what makes you go and bow down, and why did you actually go and drink from the fountain of Hazrat Tanvi? He went on to say that you're asking me what have I achieved? Kya mila? तो मुझे अपने जहल का इल्म हो गया. I achieved knowledge of my ignorance. By me going there, I actually understood in essence and in reality how ignorant I actually am. Allahu Akbar. Now, for him to actually bow down and go and sit and make ruju to Hazrat Tanvi, that was more than enough establishment for that title that he had received or had of him being Allama. He was an amazing personality, munkasiratul mizaj. Nevertheless, Hazrat Wala is saying, I quoted the Urdu to you and the English as well, that in these 3 lines, 3 satar mein khulasa bayan kiya, khulasa-e-tariq. Allahu Akbar. So it's not just that about tilawat, it's about honesty and speaking the truth. As-sidqu yunji. Sidq and honesty, truthfulness will lead you to salvation. There was a saintly personality. He spent time with Hazrat Maulana Ashraf Ali Tanvi, Kifayatullah Saheb. And he came here to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb, and the two of them were speaking and exchanging. Or he could have mentioned it to somebody else, our Hazrat Wala or someone else. What did he actually say? The essence of what he said, that when something about sin or even the slightest idea or thought of waswasa comes into my mind like that, then at that time, मैं तो हज़रत तानवी को देखने लगते. I actually picture and vision Hazrat Tanvi in front of me. Now what was that there? That was Amali Islah. That was Amali Islah. So much was that what the Shaykh had taught them, that we were with Hazrat, we stayed with him, this is how we stayed. Now I'm away from him, but if any thought comes in front in my mind, his picture and his face is there in front of me. Now remember, tariq and this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remain the same, and this is the tariq. In another malfuz, Hazrat Tanvi says, मैंने तो बहुत दफ़ा तलबा से और आम तौर से लोगों से कहा कि 2 बातें पर पुख्ता हो जाओ. मैं जिम्मा लेता हूँ वसूल इल्लाह का. एक, गुनाहों से बचना. दूसरे, कम बोलना. और थोड़ी खलवत जिक्र व फिक्र के लिए. I said to the students on many occasions, and also to people in general, become firm on 2 things, and I guarantee you will reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 1, abstain from sins. Number 2, speak less. And set aside a little time for solitude, meaning to engage in Allah's remembrance and contemplation. So this is the tariq, and right till the end, this is how it will remain. Now, what can I tell you? Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb, in the end, he used to emphasize so much on sunnats. So much so that he would start telling us that, listen, when you go to the bathroom to go and relieve yourself, then listen, when you enter with the left foot. And when you leave with the right foot. He would emphasize on all of that. And then he would still, he had his own andas, and he had his own style. He would still go on to say to the attendees, I'm telling you this here. But you people would go. And then as you enter the toilet, in all of that there, you leave out this sunnat. Hazrat Gangohi used to say that spend 1 week with your life in accordance to the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or to Saheb nisbat ho jaoge. You will become a person who will then enjoy a great bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, somebody asked Hazrat Haji Imdadullah that, Hazrat, aap pair nahi phailate hai? Listen, Hazrat, you're not stretching out your legs, relax, not a problem, be comfortable. And what did he answer? He said that कोई अपने मालिक के सामने कोई पैर फैलाते हैं? Tell me, does anybody stretch out his legs in front of the grand king? in front of the master. Allahu Akbar. This is the amount of istihzar and ever presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they enjoyed in their hearts. So Hazrat Wala is saying this path is asan, mushkil nahi, and trying to say that make riayat and look after the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and because of that you would enter into Jannah. So ghaflat should go away. So a person is laying down, he's entering here, he's sleeping on the right hand side, entering with this foot, leaving with that foot, keeping in mind that there is somebody seeing me, there's somebody watching me. Hazrat Wala then quotes the incident of Sayyidina Fazl ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, that he was on the same conveyance with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then he started staring at a beautiful woman. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam practically took his Mubarak hands and shifted his face away from that direction, saying to him, "What are you looking at? Don't look that side, look this way." So Allah Ta'ala basirat ata farmaye. So Allah Ta'ala give us a good understanding, insight and foresight of this path to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and together with that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala make it easy for us to tread this path. Hazrat Wala is then emphasizing that I'm telling you people about two kitabs. The one kitab is the kitab that I have in front of me, Dastur Salikin li Qurbi Rabbil Alameen, and the other one is that Taqdeer kitab of At-Tanweer fi Isqat Tadbir. The kitab of Ibn Ataullah Iskandari, which Hazrat Haji Imdadullah said to Hazrat Tanvi Ashraf Ali, translate this kitab. It will be of great benefit to the people. Hazrat Tanvi went on to say that, listen, I actually went there for something else, but because it was the hukam of the Sheikh, I started carrying it out, and I translated this kitab, even though I was not worthy of carrying out and executing that particular duty. You know, people say that, where are you talking from? And what are you saying? And what are you speaking about? And I said that, go to the Kutub Khana in Darul Uloom Deoband and many other Kutub Khanas. These kitabs are all there, but you people pay no attention to these kitabs. Nevertheless, such an amazing work was carried out by Hazrat Tanvi that was not carried out 100 years before that, and neither 100 years after that was such a tremendous work going to be carried out. So here, just listen to those words. Gunaho se bachna aur dusre kam bolna, to stay away from sins and to speak less. You know, there was a Buzruk who went to visit someone, and then when he knocked at the door and they asked from behind the veil that, yes, can we help you? And he said, I'm looking for this person. Is he? And they said, he is not here. Due to which this Buzruk then asked another question, that where is he gone to? Nevertheless, he was told something, whatever the answer was, but when he came home, he had such a deep remorse and regret, due to which he carried out tawbah, that how come this layani, useless and futile talk came out of my lips? This is not my job, and that's not my business. Many times there's great hikmat in not knowing. Rather, people don't even say where the person is gone because they don't want the opposite party to know where the person is. He may be doing this, that or the other. It's not suitable. You know, on one occasion, Hazrat Wala is speaking about that I went to the hospital, and the doctors are there, and I actually went to go and take out some teeth. And I'm asking about certain person, and they said, listen, he's not here. He's gone to America. And I asked the reason, and they said, listen, he's going to further his studies, or he's going to do some other type of course, this, that and the other. On that, Hazrat Wala is saying, har cheez ki ilm hai. That person went to America to go and increase his knowledge in the field of dentistry. And for medical expertise. So in this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is also some type of ilm and knowledge. Continuing, in the next malfuz there, Hazrat Tanvi says that the objective of suluk is to obtain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After it, there are two things. Number one is that of knowledge of tariq. मकसद सुलूक रिज़ाए हक है, उसके बाद दो चीज़ें हैं, तरीक़ का इल्म और उस पर अमल. The objective of suluk is to obtain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure. After it, there is two things. One is the knowledge of tariq and the other one is practicing on it. The tariq is one, meaning adhering to the external and internal injunctions. There are two aids to the tariq. One is dhikr, which can be done continuously, and the other one is the company of the Ahlullah as much as possible. If one does not have enough time for the latter, then the alternative is to study the lives and writings of the saints. There are two obstacles to tariq, or to the realization of the objective. One is sinning, and the other is preoccupation with futile activities. So when a person commits sin, then that nisbat that he's got and whatever he has achieved, he starts losing it slowly. So the precondition for all of the above to be beneficial is for one to be strict in informing one sheikh of one's condition. So all of this what we have mentioned here is also one prerequisite here is, precondition is keep ittila, informing the sheikh of your spiritual state. Hazrat Wala is speaking about at one point, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb said to us that on a weekly basis, come and tell me about your hal and your spiritual state. Hazrat Wala is saying this was the most difficult thing upon us. Was that some simple thing? For a person just go to a physician and a doctor and to speak about his physical ailment is so difficult. How much more will it not be that a person presents? It is very difficult to present your spiritual state. After this here, Hazrat Tanvi is saying it depends on personal capacity, personal capability. The objective will be realized quickly or after some time as per differences in capacity or capability of people. This is the essence of the tariqat. We take the opportunity now of quoting certain points from Shari'at wa Tariqat of Hazrat Hakimul Ummah. Now at that particular point, Hazrat Wala then cuts off and then starts making dua saying that my tabi'at and my health, I'm feeling quite weak. For a few days, I will be going to Lucknow, make dua for my health. This little type of khidmat that is being carried out, make dua that Allah Ta'ala accepts it. It is coming from way back, right from the time of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb. It is continuing right up till today. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.